Exactly. So we got to be able to trust and believe in things which is written in the scriptures that we don't see, which will come to pass. And you know, if you're a brother that's been in the faith for a short period of time, it's going to be quite difficult for you to, you know, grasp that. But regardless whether it's difficult or not, this is what you have to do. It doesn't really make a difference. Okay, you have to believe on the unseen. And think about it. The thing that you do see is not greater than the things that you don't see. The things that you don't see is much more greater than the things that you do see, manipulating the elements that you do see. All right, so, you know, you have to think spiritually, man. You got to have faith that whatever the Lord saith, that's what he's going to do. And even as you pray in his name, and you believe without no doubt in his name that he can bless you with something, then he's going to bless you with it, man. Now, it may not come in your time, but it's going to come in the right time. All right? But you have to believe. I mean, I can't say it any other way. It's about having faith. Okay, so let me read this again. So now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. See? And I'm going to read about the elders in a minute, but I just want to just say a little bit more, and then I'm going to read the rest of Hebrews 11, verse 1 to verse all the way down. I think the last verse is like verse 40 or something like that. But yeah, you know, this truth, man, is about seeing things that could possibly happen without you having to see it. You got to trust and believe that, man. Like Yahweh Shai couldn't see that he was able to heal people, but he had faith that he could. And him being able to do that allowed him to actually do the unspeakable. You see? So, you know, that's what's required of us too. It's no different. Like, just because we don't see something doesn't necessarily mean, you know, oh, it can't happen. Like, there's been many people that have came up with ideas and inventions because they had it in mind. So once you got something in your mind and it's something good, you can manifest it, man. You know, especially our people in the States. You know, a lot of our people came up with a lot of inventions, man, that these Edomites couldn't have came up with. And people still use these things to this very day. So, you know, just because something is not seen, it doesn't necessarily mean you have something in your mind that's not been done before. It can't be done. It can be done. Like I said, there's been many instances of people coming up with ideas that's never been seen before, and it's worked. So how much more believing in Yahweh Shai's doings and also what he's about to do, his doings in the past and as well as his doings in the future, you know? So let's go back and read that again. Hebrews 11 verse 1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. And through faith we understand that the world were framed by the word of the Most High, so that things which are seen were not made of things which do appear, like I was saying. Verse 4. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained a witness that he was righteous, and the Most High testifying of his gifts. By it he being dead yet speaketh. By faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because the Most High had translated him. For before this translation he had this testimony that he pleased the Most High. Well, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. There you go. So you must believe that he is going to be the one that is going to reward you. Because we believe and know, as the scripture says, that he's coming with healing in his wings, as I just quoted, right? So now we also have to believe that he's going to do what he says he's going to do in continuous consistency, because you don't have a choice but to believe in that. All of us have not a choice but to believe in that. Okay, like as I've quoted the Apostle Paul, as he said in the, I believe is in the book of Philippians, where he said that he was a prisoner of hope, and also according to the book of Romans, the 8th chapter, he said that nothing can separate him from the love of the Mashiach Yahushua. No height, no depth of anything could do that. He said this. So why was he saying this? Because in his mind, he was a prisoner of hope in Yahushua. So as I said earlier, you gotta have that mentality yourself. You have to be grounded in, and you have to also know that you can't go anywhere. You're in this prison of hope, of believing in that Yahushua is the one and only which can bring forth life abundantly. And what do I mean by that? By taking us out of these pale bodies and getting us out of this world, which there's no life that dwells in this world, but into the kingdom of heaven. And therefore we experience a world of life, you know, which he's going to do everything anyway. It's all right, you know. So I mean, that's just how it is, man. You have to believe of what Yahushua is going to do. No ifs or buts about it, man. Yeah, so let's read on, man. Verse 6. But without faith it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Oh, that diligently seek him. So you got to be diligent. Like, there's no such thing as, oh, well, I'm gonna do as much as I can do and then take a break. No, there's no breaks. There's no retirement plans. You know, once you do the work, you got to keep doing it. And as well as what I wanted to say, there's no 2-month break. There's no 3-month break. You have to continue seeking him diligently. Because when you show diligence, where are you showing that you believe, that you have faith? So verse 7, by faith Noah, being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world, and became highest of righteousness, which is by faith. Hebrews 11:8, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should have to receive for inheritance, obeyed, and went out, and not knowing whither he went. By faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, and heirs with him of the same promise, and that's Abraham. Verse 10, for he looking for a city which have foundations, whose builder and maker is of the Most High, and through faith also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed, and was delivered of a child when she was past age, because she judged him faithfully who had promised. Therefore sprang there even of one in him as good as dead, so many as the stars of the sky in multitude, and as the sand which is by the sea shore innumerable. And these all died in faith, not having received the promise, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. All right, so verse 14, for they that say such things declare plainly that they seek a country, and truly if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. Yeah, he's talking about hold on, wait there. Yeah, he's talking about the Israelites which went through the wilderness. Yeah, verse 15, and truly if they had been mindful of that country from whence they came out, they might have had opportunity to have returned. But now they desire a better country, that is in heavenly, wherefore the Most High is not ashamed to be called their power, for he hath prepared for them a city. By faith Abraham, when he was tried, offered up Isaac, that had received the promise, offered up by his only begotten son. Which that takes a lot for a man to do. Seek to sacrifice his son, which was Isaac, and it didn't happen because it was a test. It was all a test. And this is why we've come to the conclusion through the Spirit that Isaac is Yahweh Shai also. Because at the time he wasn't supposed to be literally sacrificed. Like, that was just a test to see how far Abraham really had faith towards his maker. So it wasn't the time for his son to be the sacrifice until later. So let's read on. It says, accounting that was able to raise him up even from the dead, from whence also he received him in a figure. By faith Isaac blessed Jacob and Esau concerning the things to come. And what are the things to come? That Jacob would inherit all of the nations, and all of the nations would bow down to him. And as well as the promises and the covenant, which all involves the kingdom. So those are the things to come that his father blessed his son with. And it was all through the Spirit, because when you think about it, Esau was supposed to get the blessing as he was the older brother, but the Lord didn't have it so happen that way. So Jacob wound up supplanting Esau of the birthright, and this is why these Edomites are angry with us, and they hate us, man. They can't stand us because, keep saying because, man. The reason why they hate us is simply due to the fact that they have that hatred in their blood, going all the way back to their father Esau. And that's why they can't stand it. It's not because of the color of their skin. It's really because of the spirit that's in them, and the hatred that's flowing through their veins, which goes back to their father. All right, so